There's a saying that goes, when you crawl out of hell, you shouldn't immediately jump back into it. Apparently, this is something nobody who's associated with modern day Star Trek has learned. Because I cannot for the life of me conceive a reason as to why they would make this movie a Star Trek Section 31. It baffles my mind that some moron came up with this concept, wrote a script for it. Some people reviewed it and said, you know what, let's spend money to make this garbage. Really, it really baffles my mind. But I watched it, and this is going to be my top 10 takeaways from Star Trek Section 31. I will try to get through this as quickly as possible because honestly, your brain was at to bleed from this nonsense. So let's dive into this one right away. Number one, Philippa Georgiou is overrated. Look, I like Michelle Yeoh, right? She is a great actress, some problem with her and stuff like that. But the fact is that she can only be good in a role when that role makes sense and she has supporting cast and a story and everything that actually works. From the concept, the first season or whatever, when it comes to this whole, Star Trek Discovery nonsense, Philippa Georgiou should have been a one-season character and get rid of her and never see her again. Probably should have never even been actor in the beginning, but they did it, and so that should have been it. But they didn't. And for some reason, they keep acting like she was some breakout star that this needs to constantly be put to the forefront of everything. It does not work. It does not work. I mean, yes, as I say, Michelle, you're a great actress, and all that. And even in her 60s, that woman does not look that age at all. And she absolutely just nails it when she's doing her role that she can. But in this story, no. Absolutely no. You get this thing at the beginning where you found that, young Georgiou, for her final test, poisoned her family. And then, her one friend who was with her, she then, put into slavery by literally taking a hot sword and press it on his face and burn and then, put him in this so she could become empress and all that. Nobody really freaking cares. I'm telling you, this character is really overrated. You try your best to try and make it seem like that she's something to be interested in, some kind of femme fatale. And you could see Michelle Yeoh struggling with this role because she is trying to make this character into something that never made sense in Star Trek Discovery. Now you're trying to make her make sense here, and this overblown, like, I don't even want to call it this literal puke of a movie is not doing anything at all. It does not work. It just really doesn't have any kind of staying power whatsoever. The movie just drags them around, and Yam Philippa and Georgiou, like I said, they're trying to make this character into something that she isn't, and it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Never. Just does not work at all. Number two, meet the team. Okay, so apparently, Philippa Georgiou, after the whole event that happened before, ended up working with Section 31 for a while. She kind of disappeared and they find her in some section of space somewhere running some bar or something like that. So they sent in this Section 31 team who is comprised of the worst set of morons I have ever seen. I cannot tell you these people's names because I did not care to learn them. I did not care to know these people, anything like that. They are supposed to be Section 31, the Starfleet's covert organization who does it and nobody's supposed to. This is supposed to blend in all kind of stuff, which kind of blows it out the water because Philippa Georgiou literally spots all of them in like 5 seconds of walking into the bar. It basically breaks down to this. You have the black guy who's in charge because he's a black guy who immediately gives away to Philippa Georgiou giving orders because, he's only supposed to be there and be the black guy in charge as long as no woman who the show is actually supposed to be about shows up. Because I'm telling you, if she had just said to him, you know what, drop to your knees and lick my boots, he would have done that. Absolute waste of time. Next, you have some shape shifting weirdo that I don't even care about. You understand me? You have some guy in a mech suit or something like that is supposed to be of some interest to somebody, and I don't even really freaking know. You have some woman who is like a literal Starfleet officer who's there. She's supposed to be the uptight one of the group, but she has zero screen presence. You could not even really give a crap about it. You have some next guy who's a Vulcan, but he isn't actually a Vulcan. It's actually some kind of microscopic life form, and the Vulcan is some kind of robot that he's inside of. That's it. You literally have these people trying to play some banter off each other where they have like double talk and cross talk and insult and throw a joke and thing, but it doesn't work. They don't have any chemistry as a crew, as a team, as anything like that. You understand? There's nothing to build on when it comes to people. They're just there. There's also this plot about the fact you have some mole in the team and all kind of, and honestly, you don't care who the mole is because you don't care about any of these people enough to give a crap. When the mole is somebody like, yeah, okay, it could have been any one of them, and I really would not have cared. Honestly, these people have nothing to make you interested in any of them whatsoever. Number three, the camera angles. Oh God, I don't know what anybody was thinking when it came to this thing. You are not filming the good, the bad, and the ugly, the final showdown scene. No, you have up close camera angles, mid camera angles, wide out camera angles, then back into the outro, then back again, and back and coming back and pull there, and pull to the side, and you're like, what in the hell are you all doing? You can't follow the story because the camera just keep dancing around, and you're like, pick one, stick to it. You only need up close when you actually need it. And oh God, the color grading is not good. I'm just like this warm orange and kind of blue and purple kind of color grading. This doesn't work. And combining that with the camera angles just literally makes everything look like you want to vomit when you watch it for too long. Like, bloody hell, would anybody think this true? Clearly not. Number four, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy and Dark Matter had an ugly baby. That might sound ridiculous, kind of ridiculous to you, but that's literally the best way to describe this entire movie. Like somebody sat down, watched like maybe the first and second movie of Guardians of the Galaxy, watched like maybe season one of Dark Matter, and said, you know what? Let's mash that together with all the worst possible elements into it. That's it. Let's do that because apart from the fact that this is the entire thing is set in something like that, so kind of entire setting that doesn't even look like it's Star Trek based. It looks like some weird ripoff of Dark Matter again, but without it actually looking good. You understand me? When they have these so-called space things, you could pretty much tell that there's somebody trying to copy Guardians of the Galaxy very unsuccessfully. This show does not even know what it's actually trying to be. So it turns out as some kind of weird thing. Like I say again, if Guardians of the Galaxy and Dark Matter had some ugly baby, that's what you get with this. Because it's all the worst things just thrown in there. That's all. That's all the worst things thrown in there. Number five, spy thriller minus the spy or thriller. This is supposed to be a spy thriller, right? And actually, I forgot one member of the Section 31 team because like I said, people are so forgettable. Is this bald woman who I think she's like a Delta or something like that, but she gets immediately killed off like about 10 minutes into the show, so you don't even really care about that. But the false spy thriller thing is that this is supposed to be Section 31. As I say again, the Federation's covert unit, they do the work that keeps the Federation safe with technology 100 years more advanced than what anybody has now. They go to places, they do things to keep the Federation safe, regardless of what. And they have to work in the shadows and stuff like that. You don't get that when it comes to this. You get a bunch of like overblown, flamboyant outfits, nightclub settings, wear over the top makeup, like, all of this nonsense that for some reason they thought was actually supposed to work. If you're a spy unit, you're supposed to operate like that. You're supposed to not be drawing attention. This movie goes out of its way to have every member of that team draw as much attention to themselves as possible. That's what it is. And like I said, it's supposed to be a thriller. But there really is no thriller because you literally know what's going to happen before it actually happens. You sit there like, yeah, this is going to happen. Okay, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. I mean, you remember how I really mentioned the, how Philippa Giorgio, her only friend and guy who was a lover and kind of thing, she basically put into slavery. Well, apparently he decided to kill himself. Oh, I wonder if he's actually still alive and probably going to be the main protagonist. Oh, maybe that's going to happen. Of course it is. Of course it is. You are not shocked by any of this. It is absolute nonsense. That's what it is. It's absolute nonsense. It's a spy thriller without the spy or the thriller. Number 6, of course, there's a bioweapon. That's pretty much what all Star Trek is become. No, I'm not saying that you can't have a bioweapon and cannot be cool. But basically, what happens is that Philippa Giorgio, when she was emperor in the Terran universe, had a device called the Godsend built that would literally erase like half a galaxy, something like that, which actually makes no freaking sense because she was like, okay, people are always plotting against us. So if anybody ever managed to kill her, the godsend would go off and kill all of them. So you would literally wipe out the entire Terran empire like that because you didn't like anybody that wanted to murder you. I mean, it's like that would kind of defeat the point. Should all be dead, but that's what's going on. Understand me? So of course the godsend ends up in this universe, and we all know it's most likely been taken by the very friend who she herself had been listening. And like, okay, you have this bioweapon. You've spent the better part of 30 years as this woman's slave, right? Seeing her do horrible things. She's wiped out entire planets, killed billions of people, possibly trillions by now. Understand me? Treating you like shit. And you have this bioweapon. And the thought never occurred to you, you know what? I'm going to use this bioweapon to wipe out the entire Terran scourge from my own galaxy. That is how I would get back at them for everything that they did to me. No, his genius plan is he's going to take the bioweapon, go to this rift between dimensions, and have all the Terrans come over to this side because apparently the Terrans have depleted all their resources over in their universe. I guess being evil dipshits doesn't work out economically for you. So you're gonna have all them come over there. Once he has the weapon, he will then be made emperor and rule justifiably while also being a dictator. Yeah, that was supposed to be his plan. I don't know what he thought was going to happen there, but that was his plan. And we all know he's going to die like a pussy, but scared of what happened. I don't understand what they were thinking here, but that was his plan, I guess, for some reason. Number 7, lackluster action. Look, the action in this has become pretty standard for what you would get for like Discovery. There's this scene where they have this fight under like this moving kind of monorail kind of thing that's flying around there, and it's pretty meh for action scene. Even when Philippa Jojo is fighting, I think the guy name is San or Sen or some fligging thing like that. San is his name. And she's fighting there. It's really pathetic. She's like, I mean, like, you haven't learned any way to defeat this woman in all this time. I mean, like, every time you try something, she just instantly bashing him in face, all kind of that. Yeah, he gets like one or two hits, but she's trying to hug him out, kind of tell him all kinds of like, oh, she was wrong. They could start over. Like, what? What are you trying here? It's just, yeah, you're trying something, but the action just wasn't doing it for me. Like, I see, like, eh, that was it. Wasn't great. Number 8, common sense went out the airlock. Yeah, okay, so there's this part where they have to steal the bioweapon from this guy who's looking to sell it, right? And Philippa Giorgio uses this device to put her out of phase with this universe. So everything kind of passes right through her. So it allows her to run through walls and stuff like that. But if you're using that device, why don't you immediately fall through the floor, fall out into space and just keep floating? Why don't you just, wouldn't you just stop breathing? Because I mean, like, if you put yourself out of phase with this entire universe, then that means you would not be able to breathe air. You literally just die. That was pretty much it. And then, I mean, as stupid as that is, there's more to it. Like, I mean, like, the whole part about when they're trapped on this planet and they can't get to the finest old, like, basically, it's like a spaceship garbage truck. And they get it flying and take off into space and all kind of like that. And the guy who was a lover and thing, who has this thing, he has this fully armed Terran battleship that firing lasers, but somehow they managed to hold their falling apart garbage truck ship together enough to latch onto him and pull him along into this nebula. And while you get pulled along, the ship is literally taking hits and blowing up. I mean, the Terran warship is taking hits and blowing up. And they go on there having this big fight, and there's explosions everywhere and fire. You think this ship has been blown to shit. But then, like 10 minutes later, the ship flies out and it's perfectly fine. No damage on it whatsoever. It's just perfectly fine. Apparently, that just somehow happens now. Yeah, so stupid. Number 9, how is this Section 31? Look, I keep saying this, I say it again. Section 31 is supposed to be the Federation's elite covert unit. That's what they're supposed to do. I don't know what this was. This was what people meeting in a bar and like flamboyant outfits and very loud and weird. I mean, like this even this thing at the end where Jamie Lee Curtis she appears as Control, the one who is the director of Section 31 to give them their orders. And you would think they would be in a secure room getting this information. No, they're literally inside a bar with people all around, and this hologram comes to tell them their secret covert mission, what any and everybody will know. How is that Section 31? This makes absolutely no freaking sense. And then finally, number 10. I don't know, who was this made for? Who? Was this was not Star Trek. This was not Section 31. This was not Guardians of the Galaxy. It was not Dark Matter. I don't know what the hell it was. It made no sense. It had no concept to exist. It just nonsense that somebody put together and figured whatever. I mean, the production quality looks so cheap because I'm guessing that, the majority of the money for this went towards Michelle Yeoh's salary, and I don't blame her. Cash that check straight out and bounce. I don't get you wrong, but who did they make this for? Who? I have seen some comments that oh, it's a fun ride. How is this fun? I literally watched it and I had to find reasons not to scream. That's how bad it was. My final rating for Star Trek Section 31, I give this a 0 out of 5. You need to skip this, people. It's not worth your energy or time to devote anything to this. It's just ridiculous. That's all. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like, give it a hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.